It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated with style and durability. You can trust Tervis tumblers to keep your drinks the perfect temperature, hot or cold, for hours. From the classic insulated tumblers to sleek stainless steel water bottles, each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Since our founding, we've been revolutionizing hair removal with cutting-edge technology and a commitment to empowerment. The You-Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. Experience the future of hair removal today at youlike.com, because at YouLike, beauty is about looking and feeling good. That's ULIKE.com. YouLike. With Ease US, make studio-quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects, featuring 468 natural AI voices. Customize the volume, mood, and pauses to perfectly match your content. Plus, capture high-quality videos with no watermark. Record your screen, webcam, and voice, and save them instantly to your computer. Never been easier to create professional-grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Just use AMP-Pace.
AMP-Pace.
It is the Pete Sousa Show. We are live from the Alico building, of course, presented by Slovacics. Let's get right to our first guest. Of course, today is the day we tape Inside the 12. So start around 10:30. And, I mean, you want to talk about a Ricky Henderson to lead things off. Let's go to John Walters. I mean, this is as good as it gets. And he's in Ames, the football capital of the world, over the weekend, where Iowa State was able to defeat, obviously, huge rival Iowa. John, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy. We'll keep you for like 15 minutes and let you get back to your life. But Saturday, I thought that was really important for Iowa State and for the Big 12. There was something very special about that. And even on the back end, like Joel Klatt talking about just the amazing experience it was. Dave Portnoy, same thing. I bet you never thought you'd hear that in Iowa State in the same sentence. What was it like to have that flair right there?
It was fantastic. You talk about a 6-hour infomercial for Iowa State football. I mean, Fox did a great job with the big noon kickoff. It was tremendous. They really pumped up what Iowa State's all about, and I think people could feel and sense that energy, and then it carried right over into the game. The game was terrific. The crowd was really into it. It was a very typical Iowa State game where it comes right down to the wire and it's low scoring and it's tense, and that's what this rivalry has become. And so great opportunity for fans around the country, and I think there were over 4 million viewers, to maybe experience Iowa State football when they hadn't experienced it before, and what Jack Trice Stadium can be like when it's that electric. And it was a great showcase for really both programs in the whole state.
Iowa State has been very special obviously under Matt Campbell, but for my money, just the past like 2 years, 3 years, what Rocco Becht has done in tough situations, like he did again on Saturday, just finding a way to make the winning plays. You've had a front row seat to that evolution. Give us some insight on this young man and what makes him so special and gives him the ability to make those plays in such critical moments.
Well, you're right on target. He has got that it factor that is really hard to pinpoint or put a description out there for it. But when the game's on the line, boy, do his teammates feel like he's going to make a play. Last year, he led 5 drives in the final minute to go ahead. I mean, think about that in one season to do that 5 times. Now, 4 of those games Iowa State won. The other one, Texas Tech, came back and scored and ended up winning the football game. But he's done it 8 times in his career, and he's still a young guy, just beginning his junior year. So his ability to do that over and over again just elicits all kinds of confidence in his teammates. And I think when you have that clutch gene, and to him, it's his dominant gene. It's the clutch gene. And
I love that.
Same with Kyle Conradi. I mean, with those kicks that he's made down the stretch in games. But it's such a feeling of, okay, something really good's going to happen here. We know that because Rocco's got the ball in his hands. And I think part of it is his upbringing. His dad was a great professional football player, great player at West Virginia. His mom was an athlete. He's just got a great family. And I think they helped him to understand that there's going to be highs and lows and ups and downs. You kind of navigate through it all. And one of Rocco's best qualities is his ability, when he does make a bad play, to get right on to the next play and have a short memory. And so he's got a lot of confidence in himself, but he's earned it. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's something that over the course of 3 years, he's a real student of the game. He gets in, he studies film. He's constantly, as Matt Campbell says, curious about how he can get better. No matter how good he is, he just wants to keep getting better every single day. And when guys have that curiosity, Matt feels like you combine that with his knowledge of the game and his athletic ability, and you've got something really special.
Matt Campbell obviously done a phenomenal job, been there a decade. What is unique about this team's, and it's such a, whatever, you use the word culture, but what is unique about this team's culture as opposed to other Big 12 teams that has made Iowa State so special and kept him there and the sustained success, right, for a program that wasn't having that kind of success?
I think it's his investment in the players, not into their lives, not just into their football careers and trying to make them better players, which of course is a huge priority, but they invest in the nutrition, mental health of these players. They don't leave any stone unturned when it comes to how can we make this a really quality experience for this young man over the course of 4 or 5 years, because Iowa State is a developmental program. They're not just going to go into the portal each year and add 30 guys. The guys that are really coming on and you're seeing playing bigger and bigger roles each year are guys that have been within the program. You just haven't heard as much about them. Marcus Neal's a great example from Kansas City. He's been in the program for a couple of years, started to emerge late last season. People said, wait a minute, we might really have something here that could replace Bo Freeler. And now he's playing at a super high level. But there's so many examples like that. And I think you're right, Pete, that everybody's going to claim a culture. And everybody does have a culture. They're not all good cultures. But Matt Campbell's created something here where guys want to stay. They understand they could probably go get more money somewhere else. But they look at the holistic approach of, am I improving? Am I getting better? Am I going to get an opportunity here over the long haul? And how is this going to improve my life? And when they have the maturity to kind of look at the big picture instead of just how much money is out there today, I think they really understand that it's a valuable experience for them to stay here because Matt and his coaching staff really invest every single day in the lives of these young men. It's really fun to watch.
Who's a player that you have seen Coach Campbell sort of take a great interest in, and he has kind of come alive? Because a lot of these guys come to campus, they're very quiet, and you kind of miscalculate being quiet for being cold or aloof, and that's not what it is at all. And a guy like Matt Campbell can get the best out of these guys. Is there a particular human being, right, that he has tapped into and you've seen like, wow, what a change?
There's been so many of them, Pete. Honestly, over his 10 years at Iowa State, there's been so many guys like that. I think a great example on this team, and he was never quiet. He's got a big personality, but Dominique Orange is a guy that kept investing in and kept trying to get connected and help him mature and understand that he might not get a lot of stats in a game as a defensive tackle, a nose guard, but he's impacting winning when he's having 600 pounds leaning on him on every play and fighting off that double team and still getting penetration into the backfield and disrupting an offense. And Dom is playing at such a high level right now. I think he'll be a first-round NFL draft choice. He was great against Logan Jones, the All-American center from Iowa last weekend. But there's so many examples of guys like that. And it's so much fun to see guys. Enrique was one out of Detroit who's now playing for the Denver Broncos that really matured like that over the course of his time at Iowa State. I mean, I could go on and on, but it's just fun to see guys come in and truly come out of the program a different person than they were when they came in. And, you know, a guy like Gabe Burkle at tight end was a guy that's from Cedar Rapids, wasn't heavily recruited, came into the program, just worked his tail off and caught the attention of the coaches. They knew he could block, but now he's shown great hands and he's developing into a tremendous tight end to go with Benjamin Bramer. And so there's just example after example of that. And it's really rewarding to see that growth happen from within the program instead of always having to go grab something from outside to fix your problems.
It's rewarding for me to hear that from you because I see at Big 12 Media Days kind of like the finished product of Dominique Orange, right? Like he's there. He's now a representation and an ambassador for the program. And now you get to tell me how that happened. That's why I love talking to guys like you. Like people don't quite understand, like someone in your role, like you're flying with the team, you're on the buses, you're eating. It's a really, really cool part of the program. The radio announcer, and it's one of those things I love to try to tap into, which leads me to my next question. Why, in your opinion, did Iowa State respond so well from the 5,000-mile trip to Dublin, and Kansas State has struggled? And not so much about, their missteps, but what do you feel like Iowa State did right? Because that's a monster of a trip. And to come back, and you could tell, that FCS opponent, I guess it was Northern Iowa, you beat 55-3 when you came back. I could be wrong about that. It was South Dakota.
Yeah, South Dakota.
Yeah,
yep.
South Dakota. But I saw that score and I thought, okay, they did something right. Like, was there anything that you can put your finger on?
No, you're so right. I mean, that ability to come back the next week against South Dakota and win the way they did was one of the most impressive things that's happened in a season when you've beaten Kansas State and Ireland and you've beaten Iowa in your rivalry game. The sandwich game in between against a really good FCS program in South Dakota was, to me, maybe the most impressive win because of the way the guys came back with laser focus. Because there were all those questions, the miles, all those things. But Matt Campbell has been investing in that trip from the minute he knew it was going to happen, calling other coaches that had been on the trip, because not many college programs have had success coming back from overseas. Then he called NFL programs, Nick Sirianni and other friends in the NFL, and said, hey, look, how do you guys handle it when you go to London or you go to Brazil or do these trips that happen within the season? So he just was tapping into everybody's knowledge on this and looked at the nutrition part of it, looked at the sleep part of it, brought in sleep experts, just invested everything he possibly could into making sure that Iowa State wasn't another victim of going over and playing in that game and then not really being able to get your season on track coming back. He was way more worried about the season coming back than he was about the game. Now, he was worried about the game and trying to win it and investing everything they could in to win it. But his biggest concern was, how do you respond coming back from that? And so far, flying colors is what I'd say. And It's the amount of effort that he put in to making sure that would happen that's led to those results.
How about, by the way, you mentioned Sirianni. I had a UCF game. Alex Grinch, their defensive coordinator. You got Sirianni, Matt Campbell, Alex Grinch, another guy who I'm forgetting, all on the same Mountain Union team that was like undefeated for 2 years.
Yeah, Mountain Union has cranked. What an incredible coaching tree under Larry Karras. Iowa State's former offensive coordinator, Tom Manning, played there. He's now with the Colts as their tight ends coach. I mean, it goes on and on. The Mountain Union guys that are all over college football and the NFL. It's super impressive. And Coach Karras, his impact continues to live on years and years later.
All right, one more for you before I let you go. This team last year, I mean, obviously the Big 12 championship was a disappointment for the program, for the players. I thought it was, you see Rocco Becht coming back, right? You see, like, it felt like from 30,000 feet, almost everybody's back and still invested, everybody that could have come back, right? There's unfinished business. Is there a vibe around the team that is, you know, hey, we have not hit our ceiling yet? You know, like we have plenty of work left to be done. Is there a slogan or just an identity there that these guys are hanging on to keep them motivated all season long? Not that they'll need it going into the Big 12, but I think you understand what I'm saying.
I do. And Rocco Becht has talked about that, about kind of the unfinished business of, you know, they didn't like the way they played in that championship game. They want to get back there again this year and prove that they can win that game. And I think there's a big kind of chip on Matt Campbell's shoulder personally through the years of just saying, hey, I want to go do this at a place where somebody said it couldn't be done. And a lot of people were saying it couldn't be done at Iowa State. And this is, you know, 2 of the last 5 years, Iowa State's been in the Big 12 championship game. Now they got to go win one. That's kind of the next. And you got to get back there first, which is going to be super hard this year with the great teams in the Big 12 and the number of terrific teams. And a little bit of luck has to go your way, which happened last year for Iowa State to get into that championship game. But I think if these guys get the opportunity again, they'll make the most of it. But yeah, that is absolutely motivation for this team. There's no question about that. And, you know, I like the way this season kind of broke up where you have 3 bye weeks because of that trip to Ireland. And it's rare to get 3 bye weeks within a season, but I think that allows Iowa State maybe to stay healthier over the course of this long, long season, because you're trying to go from camp in, you know, early July with the Ireland trip, and then all the way you want to be playing into January. It's a long, long season. And last year, Iowa State got crushed by injuries, particularly at linebacker. Keeping this team healthy for the long haul is such an important part of the equation. And I think those 3 byes will help. But yeah, they are laser focused on getting back to that Big 12 championship game and having a better result.
One more add-on. You mentioned Matt Campbell. I think he's just so amazing. How close has he come to going to the NFL? And why do you think he stayed? And after this, I promise I'm finished.
Oh, you know, he's had so many job offers, and I'm sure we don't know about 90% of them. The ones that have kind of surfaced publicly were the Detroit Lions offering him $68 million. USC obviously was very interested in him. We've heard that multiple times. There have been other programs, I'm certain of it, that have shown a lot of interest in Matt. I think one thing that people underestimate is just how important his family is to him. And 10 years, this is where they've grown up, and he's got, you know, 4 kids that he just loves being invested in their lives. And he could be home from the office in 10 minutes here. You know, if you take a job in the NFL or you take a job at USC, it's probably going to be an hour each way getting back and forth from home, you know, and it's just those little things add up, especially, you know, he's coaching his kid's softball team and little league team as well. He coached his son's little league team. Quick story for you. He was sharing with me on the tailgate tour bus. He said, you know, I was coaching my son's team and they lost a game, and he told the guys, hey guys, that one's on me. That one's on me. Don't worry about it. Shake that one off. So they get back in the car, and his son, I believe it's Rudy, his son says, he goes, you know, Rudy, that ground ball was hit to you and you didn't get your glove down. You got to get your glove down to get that ball. And Rudy says, Dad, I thought you said it was your fault. So he loved that. You know, I say, yeah, he got me. You know, he got me. And so, but he loves being a part of his kids' lives, just like it's so important to him to invest in the players' lives. It's the same thing with his own kids. And so that's a part of the equation that people underestimate.
John, man, thank you so much for taking the time. You do an amazing job for the Cyclones, and for you to take some time and give us some insight this morning means a lot. Wish you the best of luck. I'm sure I'll see you down the road here soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, Pete.
John Walters, that's a heavy hitter in Big 12 circles and in college football and college basketball circles. So a very cool situation to get a chance to chat with him about Iowa State. We're going to step aside and we're coming back. We're going to the bank. We got Dan Ingham here. 6'8". I mean, let's go. I mean, he's ready to rock and roll. A couple topics that he may not want to talk about. I got to ask him what's going on with Oklahoma State. I have to again after that loss, and then we'll get one of his picks. And I got one more topic I want to kind of tap into Dan's mindset on. We'll step aside. Presented by Slovacics, the Pete Sousa Show. Back after this.
For 75 years, Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. No gimmicks, just durable, well-designed bottles built to last. Join us on our mission to amplify life, not complicate it. Because at Nalgene, what goes into our bottles matters as much as the adventures they fuel. Explore more at nalgene.com. That's NALGENE.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
InMotion is more than just a name. It's a legacy of innovation. From supplying electric vehicle parts like motors and inverters since the 1960s to creating cutting-edge electric scooters, hoverboards, and unicycles, InMotion is shaping the future of mobility. Whether you're looking for industrial power solutions or accessible personal transport, InMotion has you covered. Explore our products and experience the future of movement. Visit store.inmotionworld.com today.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files, remove malware and viruses, and protect your device. It also optimizes your Mac's hard disk, fixes disk permission issues, and cleans memory, all to boost your Mac's performance to the max. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle. The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It's all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic, which is really great for your baby's sensitive skin.
And it's Smoothie Climatech, which regulates your baby's temperature.
You can also get Joy's crib sheets, which are made of the same super soft material.
Joy gave my baby comfort
and gave me peace of mind.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey, past, present, and future. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence, elevate creativity, and honor what matters most. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
Maud Lily is your go-to for stylish and affordable fashion that fits your life. Whether you're looking for the perfect swimsuit for a beach day, a chic dress for a night out, or cozy tops for everyday wear, Maud Lily has it all. Their extensive collection of swimwear, including bikinis, tankinis, and one-pieces, always keeps you on trend, while their dresses and tops come in flattering styles for every occasion. Visit maudlily.com today.
time to take it to the bank, baby. Everybody, cheers. First National Bank of Central Texas. You see the logo. Dan Ingham in the house, baby. Great to have you. A lot to talk about this week. And the first thing I want to get your opinion on, okay, is Oklahoma State. Now, the reason I want to get an opinion on this is because it was pretty bad on Saturday. We knew it would be bad. We didn't know it would be that bad. So does the program go from here? Like, do you think would Mike Gundy get let go in season? Or that could never happen, right?
Something would have to kind of spark to make that happen.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if it's midseason, but I mean, he keeps this up. I mean, they're not going to lose every game 69-3. But I mean, if it's another like 3-9 type season, then yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think you got to make a change. I don't care if he's the winningest coach in school history. I mean, I realize that you can have an awful game 2 and be much better at the end of the season. But the delta between like the kind of program that Oklahoma State fans think they should be and what they saw on Saturday is pretty wide. And so I don't know if they can make up enough ground. I mean, he's got to have a kind of turnaround where they go like they got to get back to a bowl game, at least 7 wins, 6 wins. And it's hard to watch that game on Saturday and think they have the capability of doing that. Now, they've got talented players. They have to have a handful of them because they paid some money for some guys. But the clock is ticking. How about that? Yeah.
How have they fallen so far so fast? I mean, this was a team that was, when they did the poll last year, they were atop the Big 12 preseason.
Recruiting.
Yeah.
It's about players. I mean, I'm sure maybe Mike Gundy's made some, poor choices in coaching, that kind of thing, but he's known how to coach when he's got the players he's wanted. They have not recruited well. Interestingly, the next year's class is lining up to be one of the best they've had in a while because they've raised some more money for NIL, that kind of thing. And he's admitted his strategy was wrong with NIL. The first couple of years, he paid the guys on campus. He thought he should reward the ones who were there instead of going out and spending on guys to come in, except for a handful. And we saw how that worked. It didn't work out well at all. And so now they're actually paying to get guys in. But I think they had like 60-something new players on the roster. And so obviously they spent some money to get some talent, but there's no guarantee that's going to mesh and work. And so it all goes back to the dudes that they have there in recruiting, and it has not worked out. End of story.
What did you think at all? Are you familiar with the young woman, the AP poll voter, who people are kind of really
a little bit? Just that she had Florida still too high or something like that. Am I right?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
she basically, USF beat Florida, and she like moved Florida up 2 spots, and she didn't even put USF, excuse me, in the top 25. And her way of explaining it was kind of clumsy. And then the clip, of course, goes out, and everybody's all over her. There's a huge overreaction to this, as there always is, but it does shine a light on, wow, this is how we're doing the AP voting. And I know you being in local news for a long time, like my friend Madison Hawk, she was a news person in Knoxville. Yeah. She had a vote, for a while. Like, what do you think about that? The way that the top 25 is voted on, should it change? Like, is it archaic? I was curious to get your thoughts about this.
So, I mean, is it perfect? Probably not. But I just can't get that worked up over one person's vote in an AP poll that at the end of the day, it probably helps set the narrative a bit, but doesn't really determine all that much of anything.
Yeah.
I don't think the AP poll, is it even factored in when the committee's there at the end of the year for the play? So me personally, and I know this isn't a fun hot take or anything, I just can't get that worked up over one person's vote in early September. But I mean, how could you justify not putting Florida below South Florida? I don't understand how you could do that. And I think South Florida, I mean, they've legitimately had a couple good wins. I mean, so they're like the kind of team they're talking about that could maybe sneak in as one of the at-large bids for the
Group
playoff.
of 5.
So is it a bad poll? Yeah. Should she have, I mean, if she was truthful, she was like, man, I screwed up and I was busy. I'm writing a bunch and I didn't get it in there. That probably would have been the honest answer. But just like SIDs, when they do the coaches poll at midnight on Saturday night, but I just can't get that worked up over an AP poll. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and you know this just from being around it, working in media. Like, I mean, there's a lot of those ballots are just like, hey, like somebody else filling it out for somebody else.
I mean, how many times in a press box have you been handed like, and don't you hate this, by the way? This is kind of inside baseball. People might like, if you go to a big bowl game or a big event or a tournament, they usually have you vote for like an all tournament team. I'm sure you've done it, and I've done it many a times. And then they hand you the ballot like in the second quarter. You're like,
I was going to say second quarter.
Don't you hate that? Like, and so, but just to show you, that's how when they name the player of the game, that's how much thought is given into it. Sometimes, you know?
Well, it happens to us. It'll happen to you. So you have a game tomorrow night, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so it's
bingo. Good call.
Yeah, so it's on CW.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
You watch it there live, and you could also watch it online on KWTX.
That's right.
So who's the matchup? But by the way, I did say they'll ask us to pick the player of the game, or you tomorrow night, early in the third quarter.
Colleen and Lake Belton. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good game.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at the old Belton High School Stadium, Tiger Field over there. So yeah, get going tomorrow with Royden, Ogletree, and crew out there. But yeah, probably hear in our ear, hey guys, who's the player of the game? Because they got to get a package together for it, that kind of thing. So yeah.
But how about the Lake Belton kid? Is that where Micah, whatchamacallit went? The guy who went to Texas Tech? He's a wide receiver now?
He's bounced around a couple schools.
Well, no, only been at Texas Tech.
I thought he transferred. Okay, then
no, he didn't transfer, but he's not. I was curious to see what you thought about him, but now,
gotcha.
yeah. I mean, he's
how much I know.
He was at Lake Belton. He went to Texas Tech. He's still there, and
good.
But he only has a couple catches this year, so I'm hoping things turn around for him because he's a 5-star guy,
big time. And that's just the way. I mean, there's no guarantee that that you're going to translate right away. That's just the number of kids who can make an impact right off the bat are pretty small.
That is a flaw. You want to talk about a flawed system? The stars and the 4 stars, the 5 stars. I mean, it is scary how flawed that deal is.
It's flawed. But I'd still, if I'm rooting for my team, I want more 4 and 5 stars than 3 and 2. I mean, that's just the reality of it, you know.
That's very true.
Is it perfect? Heck no. I can name tons of guys that I've seen over the years that were 2 and 3 stars that are playing the NFL now. But if I'm playing the odds, I want more 4 and 5 star kids. Yeah.
Thursday night, you sit down and you turn on the Cowboys, and your thoughts were what? Your first impression was what?
Winnable game that slipped away. Yeah. Like I'm actually pretty encouraged by the offense, and like so again, not an excuse guy, but both teams I think could say this. The game took a turn after that delay.
Yes.
And I was listening to an athlete who had no skin in the game say how challenging that is when you get your body ready to go, you're going, and then you take like an hour break like that. And so that's what we didn't see a single point after that rain delay. Scored. So I kind of get a pass after that, but Cowboys were driving there to take the lead and before they fumbled it up and then the rain delay. So long answer to say, I felt kind of encouraged. Like, I think their offense is pretty good. God, they really could have used an impact guy on the defensive line. But other than that, you know.
Well, I mean, so did you feel that pain, him not being there? Like,
you can honestly,
like I'm watching the game and like Mike Leslie's tweeting, and I love Leslie, but he's like, you know, Micah Parsons would have made this play, and he has like a video of where he made the exact play.
And that's very possible, especially with a quarterback like Hurts, because there aren't many guys who can match athleticism there, and Micah is one of those guys. But he could have made. But the reality is, they were still in the game. They had a chance to. Dak looked really good, I thought. CeeDee Lamb looked really good, minus some drops at the end that could have made a big difference. So, I mean, as long as they take care of business to win this week, then I'm feeling okay. They're a team that looks like if they stay healthy, they're going to be in the running for a playoff. And then they'll break our hearts in the playoffs. But I mean, but they're kind of that level of team, if I had to guess.
I would say it's renewed hope. I think we were so down on the Cowboys because of all the tumult in the offseason that I think we actually forgot that the offense did get better.
Well, and oddly, the Cowboys, and I say oddly because we bag on the Jones family and their decision making.
Yeah.
But if you look over the past 10, 15 years, and so they've drafted pretty well.
Yes, they have.
The number of players that they've drafted and that have turned into good players is very high. And so they just have made some not as sound decisions, in my opinion, a lot of other in the way they handle re-signing and signing and that kind of thing. But they've drafted well. So there's some talent there. There's no doubt about it.
All right, I'm putting you in charge of Baylor's marketing and public relations.
Okay.
And I'm let me ask you, because I'm already upset about this whole thing. When is the right time to start a Sawyer Robertson Heisman campaign?
So it's funny. I actually wrote that down before I came over here. So he only has the 18th best Heisman odds right now.
And that's ridiculous.
Well, and here's the deal. That's because they don't think Baylor's going to win enough games to win the Heisman. You've got to win a bunch of games, marquee games, to win the Heisman. It's maybe not fair, but right now he's plus 3,500 to win the Heisman, thanks to FanDuel right there.
I'm with you, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like numbers and production and the fact that he is a huge reason they won that game last week against a ranked team on the road, I mean, there's no doubt you can't name 4 or 5 people who've had a better start to year than him.
No.
You just can't. And that just tells you how much of that Vegas thinks that Baylor is more of an 8-4 team, just making them instead of a 10-2 team that's got a chance to win the Big 12.
So do you think is that the mindset? And I really don't know. I'm not as tapped in maybe as I used to be, but like what was Baylor's record when RG3 won? Like
I believe they won over
10 games?
Yeah, they did not win the Big 12.
Okay.
But what he did, he had a couple things that some of his biggest moments were on nationally televised games.
Okay.
Like that OU game. And so Baylor had a clunker that year against Kansas on the road. This is every game being nationally televised. He did not play well. And this is when Kansas was like Kansas, and they barely beat Kansas. That game was not nationally televised. So no one saw him turn it over and not play as well. And so it worked out really well that his marquee moments, like beat OU on national TV, I believe it was on a Saturday night, and won it with a game-winning touchdown. And that was his Heisman moment because it was like late November. And so he really benefited from that. But they were a 10-win team as well. And so you got to get to that level and maybe have a big win. I mean, if Baylor can get a big win over TCU on national TV, that kind of thing.
So that's that's good insight though. Like the odds makers look at their schedule and they just say, hey, they're not favored to win enough games.
Odds makers don't care. They're not rooting for or against Baylor. You know what I mean? They're just saying we don't think that Baylor's going to do enough as a team for him to win the Heisman.
What did you think about? Did you watch the Baylor game?
Oh, that was awesome.
Hold on now. I got to tap into your. I need you to do a little media critique here. What did you think about the CW broadcast? You go first.
I thought it was okay. So if I'm being real honest, I don't know that I walked away with a strong opinion either way. I thought the umpire cam was a kind of cool idea.
Very cool.
I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more of that. To be honest with you, I'm sure it sounds like something the XFL probably did at one point. But I don't know. I mean, so I'd be lying, Pete, if I said, man, I came away with strong opinions to that one.
No, I think,
is there a consensus out there that
No, there's not. I was just curious because you're kind of like a broadcast nerd like me.
I didn't feel like I was watching ACC propaganda. How about that? Because I know that they do all the ACC. I didn't feel like that at least.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's the fear you get when you're a network that does all one group of games, that kind of thing.
I thought it was good. I thought the guy who called the game, whose name I forget, apologize. I think he's a NASCAR guy.
There you go.
And I think that he found a spot, and I think it's somehow affiliated with some of the work he did on NASCAR. He's still connected through the CW, all those channels.
Yeah.
And so people I saw online, like NASCAR fans or whatever racing fans, were happy to see this guy on the call. And he was he had a great voice, and his calls were good. You could tell a couple times he was not a football guy, but overall, I would have given the guy an A-. I mean, I thought it was really good.
I'll make sure and tune into another CW game. I mean, seriously, I watch enough football now. I really kind of want to watch it with a stronger eye. If I'm being honest.
Another broadcast that has been sizzling this year, another outlet production, is the HBO, the Turner and the HBO games for the Big 12.
Yep.
They have gone all out, and that production is great. Just like the angles and all that stuff. That a lot of good
shows you that's a priority of theirs. And it's something they want to grow.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the bank. We have Dan Ingham. You're 0-1, by the way.
That's right. Last
week.
So
am I.
Man, I thought Kansas had a chance to cover there at the end, but no.
So did I. I mean, honestly, I thought Kansas was going to win for a long time.
Yeah, it was a pretty even game for most of.
So I went down with the ship with you, which I was happy to go down with the ship because I told you yesterday I felt very good about that. I did. So we're 0-1. Remember, this is Monopoly money because one, we're in Texas, and two, what do I know? He knows stuff. So listen to him. But this is his pick for the week. Let's get it.
All right. So Texas Tech.
Scotty's going to keep you honest. Look, there it is.
Takes on Oregon State this weekend. All right. Texas Tech, they're crushing everybody, right? They got all this NIL money. They're doing well. They're 23.5-point favorites. They're going to cruise to victory, right? Not this week. It's a look-ahead game for Texas Tech. Look at the schedule. Who are they playing next?
Utah.
Massive game for Texas Tech. Big 12 title implications for both teams. Texas Tech, are they going to beat Oregon State? Yes, they're going to win. Can't you see them winning 42-21 and not covering?
That's
something
it.
like that?
Yeah.
Oregon State plus 23.5. Take it to the bank.
I love it. Scotty Swingler, hell of a job, dude.
Did Scotty, did he agree? Does he agree, disagree?
He does. No, he puts it, you can't see it, but he's got a great graphic.
That
up
a baby.
for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that.
Scotty's the man, dude. This guy is like really a special
Man, you got,
guy.
like I told you, you've got a good crew. Good. You guys got it going right here.
Oh,
You're doing a good job.
it didn't happen overnight. And we're
it
still
real quick.
working.
I heard you were talking about the Iowa State play-by-play voice, Matt Campbell. Loves to coach his daughter's softball team. I'm actually coaching my daughter's softball fall ball right now. We had our first practice that night. So Matt Campbell and I have a lot in common.
You're the coach?
Yes,
the head coach.
I am the head coach of the. We haven't named yet. I told the girls to think about it and come up.
Okay,
with some
so how
names.
do you handle this? What's your daughter's name?
Evie.
All right, so Evie, let's say she's the best player on your team.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Which I would imagine coming from good
I
stuff,
would say
she probably is.
She's middle. She's good, not great. How about that?
Okay, so
yeah.
Evie is up for All-Star. Are you going to give it to her?
Luckily, they don't do that here in fall ball.
Okay.
It's just so, yeah. But I will tell you, she's already told me all the positions she wants to play because I'm the head coach. And I told her it doesn't work that way. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
Plus, fall ball is a little more developmental. So we're trying to give lots of folks, a chance to, if you want to try and pitch, go for it. That kind of thing. Yeah. So I just going to say, Matt Campbell and I have a lot in common.
Well, if you can't tell, I have a deep resentment against my father for not giving me the All-Star.
Oh,
I had totally
are we bringing back some?
Dude,
don't you remember how
I was like,
important that
Dad, are
was?
you kidding me?
Yeah.
You gave it to like Andrew Tomasio. I'm like, what? Dude, I'm the guy. Like,
Andrew,
I
I've heard that he didn't deserve it.
Yeah, no.
But isn't that funny? Like, I remember our Mike Delagarza, the basketball coach in my hometown, used to have a camp every summer. And if you made All-Star at camp, you would get a T-shirt. And I mean, like you would wear. I mean, I got it. Big guy.
It's like a Letterman
Oh, it
jacket.
was like I think I wore it till there were holes in it because you're like, yeah, it was an All-Star. I mean, because and here I am, 46, and I still remember what it's like to get that All-Star thing. Yeah.
And the best little league like lineup or I'm going to play this position story comes. It's introduction day, right? It's just Radnor Little League. I wasn't actually on this team. I heard this secondhand, but it's fact. And the coach is like, everybody say your name, right? And so they're just going around, and this kid, his name was, it was hyphenated before like the hyphenation. So his name was Paul Menard Catcher, right? And he says, Paul Menard Catcher. And the coach pauses and he goes, we'll see about that.
That's awesome. And the kid's probably just like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, Christ,
That's awesome.
All right, Dan Ingham, First National Bank of Central Texas. Thanks so much for coming by.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next Wednesday. We're taking it to the bank. I'm on board with Dan, by the way. I'm going. I like that. I do like these two games for Texas Tech being like a way for them to really catapult themselves into like prominency nationally because they're both on national TV. I think this one's on Fox, Big Fox, and then next week is on Fox as well, I think. So
prove it.
Yeah.
Especially that Utah thing. Hey, we know you spent the money, but are you a good team? We'll find out more.
100%. All right, we're going to find out who Dan likes next week, and we'll find out some more. Scotty and I are going to talk a little bit more about this AP voting situation before we wrap up. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovakics, is back after this.
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and OrganicHemp.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. At Toussaint's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Toussaint's.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. BizChair.com. your one-stop shop for premium commercial furniture that blends quality with affordability. From ergonomic office chairs to durable restaurant seating, we cater to diverse industries including corporate, medical, hospitality, and education. With over 20 years of experience, we offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business. At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Born from a third-generation lighting family, we craft beautifully designed, premium lighting that's made to be affordable. Inspired by Grandma Mitzi's eclectic style, we're on a mission to make high-quality lighting accessible to all. Whether you're updating your space or adding a unique fixture, Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi. Founded in 1910, Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Made to the highest standards, our products won't let you down. We give you the confidence to get out there and explore. Inspired by the past, devoted to the present, and built to inspire a multi-generational future, Samsonite is here to elevate your journey. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. The grinder mentality that Randy and Brent Habert built into 44 Pro runs deep within our team. Every member shares a passion for the craft, the game, and most importantly, the player. When you step onto the field with a 44 Pro custom glove, you'll feel the difference. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, we've got your team's colors running through our veins. From official replica kits to custom player prints of your favorite stars like Ronaldo, Messi, and Kane, Kitbag is your one-stop shop for all things football. Powered by Fanatics, we deliver to over 180 countries, ensuring you get the gear you need fast. For true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kitbag.
All right, it's the Pete Sousa Show. So happy to have everybody with us. Closing in on 84,000 subscribers. We've kind of leveled off recently. Part of that is because I was doing like the Google Ads thing for a while, which I still do, but that costs money, and marketing costs money. And so we've kind of backed off that a little bit, but I still think we can get to 100K. For sure, by November. I mean, for sure. But everybody who is along with us and has been jamming with us, dude, we love it. It's just a blast. We're crushing it. Like Scotty Swingler is the man. Chris Visser coming on board has been huge. We're just trying to get Corey Dickman to notice. Like, hey, Corey, we're over here. We're the Pete Sousa Show. He's too busy giving Mike notes for Bois. I'm like, hey, over here. Come on. Pay some attention. No, I'm kidding. Corey is actually the greatest. And honestly, this Rogue Media Network is moving 100 miles per hour in so many different directions. I mean, the Green and Gold pregame show, it's going to be on KWTX. And of course, you can see it on the Green and Gold YouTube page. That will be pregame, pregame, like real pregame. Like the game starts at 11? Yeah. My main man, James Westling, will be in town. He's calling the game. Wesling's awesome. You guys are going to love him if you don't know him already. James is the man. And him and the guy, Leger, who he's going to call the game with, they're like, I'll give you a little, like Dan said, inside baseball. Like ESPN has like a bunch of crews, right? And there's like, I'll call 7 games. James probably has 10 or 11, and that's just a guesstimation. But he is like the number one. If there's a number one like digital crew, it's him and this guy, Leger. Like they're like next in line for like, you see these guys on ESPN2 every week. So James does a great job. So get excited for him. I wanted to talk a little bit about Baylor before I bring Scotty in, and I'm worried about what Scotty's going to be doing. He's passionate about this next topic, but I'm passionate about the one I'm talking about right now. I'm frustrated with Baylor, and you never hear me say I'm frustrated with Baylor. When I talk about the administration, the athletic department, I'm not going to name any names because I truly do love the people over there. But I'm knocking on the door. Hey guys, I'm a ad hoc marketing guy. I got an idea for the campaign. Let's start up Sawyer's Heisman campaign. Let's go. And I thought this morning, right? I was like, what can a title be for this, right? What could be the slogan? Quick story. And this is a true story, okay? I got screwed once, and I'll tell you how I got screwed. In 2004, I was a public relations assistant, right, at the Charlotte Bobcats at the time. Should have been a coordinator, was an assistant, whole deal. I eventually got promoted. Let's not get into the logistics and office politics, okay? I wrote the game notes. And, you know, the rookie of the year in the NBA at that time was the Got Milk Rookie of the Year, okay? The NBA did a pretty good job branding this. So I'm writing the game notes. It's probably the second month of the season. And Emeka Okafor, our second pick in the draft, the rookie, is just dominating, right? I mean, it's really the only bright spot we had going with the Charlotte Bobcats at the time. I mean, if a guy made a left-handed layup, I was putting it in the game notes. Like, we were bad. And Okafor is like, he's a double-double every night. And so I write, you know, you see the titles in game notes. I wrote, Got Mech, ? Pretty good, right? Talked about how he won Rookie of the Month and he was going to be, you know, continuing. He was continuing posting these great numbers, like a double-double every night. So, okay, got it's out there. Got Mech. Like a month or two later, our PR guy, Scott Lightman, who's a good man. I love Scott. He gave me the opportunity. But Scott, we're going to do Got Mech for Emeka's rookie campaign. I'm like, yo, bro. That was like my idea. Like, you think I got any credit? Then, lucky for Scott, Bo Hussey was our digital guy. And I wish I had this. Maybe I'll make a YouTube short of this. We put together a milk carton, right? It was a milk carton, and it was a Got Mech milk carton. The best promotion you could ever find for a Rookie of the Year candidate, right? We sent it out to everybody. Like, you know, at the end of Pardon the Interruption, Tony and Mike put it on the desk. Like, look at this, Emeka Okafor. It was one of those like noteworthy campaigns. And he ended up, that was the highlight of Emeka Okafor's career. He actually won Rookie of the Year instead of Dwight Howard. Emeka's career and Dwight's kind of different directions, right? Emeka was solid, but Dwight was a superstar. And you could attribute a lot of that to the campaign, right? Like, really, it was done well. Let's not dole out credit here, but if we were, I mean, give the PR assistant Lightman wouldn't let me leave the arena. Just tip the cap, dude. Hey, good job, man. Nothing. And I knew better at the time. I wasn't going to go fighting for credit. So I kept my mouth shut and just resented everybody. Nowadays, I talk about resentments, right? So that brings me back to my initial point, the Baylor Bears. I need this Heisman campaign for Sawyer revved up and out of the garage, okay? I'm just coming here after doing Inside the 12 with Taylor McHarg, and it's a show, if you're watching this for the first time, we record it over at KWTX, and it'll be on True TV tomorrow night, HBO Max, all your Big 12 markets. You can see it over the air locally, and it'll be on the Big 12's YouTube page. You got to check it out. We broke down Sawyer Robertson's game. Overall game and how he's been playing. His numbers are phenomenal. The last quarterback to throw for 3 straight 400-plus yard games. You know who he is, Scotty? You don't know? Patrick Mahomes. That's Sawyer, dating back to last year against LSU. By the way, these are not little sisters of the poor. LSU, Auburn, SMU, coming off a college football playoff appearance. Like, what are we waiting on? Everybody. So here's my thing, and this is a lame title, but I'm going with it. I still have to figure out how we would package this and send it out to the media in a digital age. I'm not sure, but, you know, like I said, I just come up with the names, like Got Mech. You guys figure out the milk carton. Holy Heisman. It's a Baptist school. I mean, Sawyer is very out there with his faith, and he's the best guy around. Now, you guys can workshop it a little bit. Maybe we can figure something better out. I'm sure if David Kay wants to come up with something over there, he will. and it'll be happening. But yeah, right now I'm stuck on Holy Heisman. All right, Scotty, come on over. I want to hear what you think of Holy Heisman, and I want to ask you a question that's going to get you upset. There he is, folks. Okay, so
it's not easy to get me upset unless you talk about the Luka trade.
We're not talking about the Luka.
Okay, great. Then we'll be fine.
What did you think about the Holy Heisman thing?
I appreciate the effort. I think Baylor needs to get on it, as you said. I think the problem with the word holy is, and it's not a problem for most folks, but I think Baylor folks would see it as slightly sacrilegious.
Why?
Just because that's a word that's like reserved for God for Baptists. So
that's the point.
Well, I know, but don't compare Sawyer to God, or it's going to offend.
Why not?
The Baptists.
Look, in my household, that's right up there. You have a Heisman Trophy. That's maybe a little below the.
Listen, I like it as a starting point. I think we can come up with something a little more palatable for the university itself.
All right, I'm gonna work on it.
All right,
I'm gonna work on it.
Great.
All right, somebody else who needs some work. Another Sawyer. Haley Sawyer is her name. Now, I am in great defense of this young woman, and the reason being is because. And I talked about it yesterday, even with the Philadelphia Phillies fan who stole the ball from the dad and the kid. And now everybody is, actually, I think the posse has moved on now to this poor woman, Haley Sawyer. But she yesterday, you know the story by now. Actually, Dan didn't. So let's refresh your memory. USF beat Florida. And, she's an AP voter and she went to vote and she did not have USF in the top 25, and she moved Florida up 2 spots. She also Okay, are we back? Yeah, I'm back. You're still standing there. There you go. Okay, we're back. So we've had some internet stuff recently. So she does a video, an interview, where she comes off not very well. Right? What did you think about the video?
Do we want to roll it?
Yeah, do we have it? All right, here's Haley.
Give me 5 seconds.
5.
I had it for Matt.
4. Oh, of course, for Mosley first.
Is what my votes are and what my process is. I wake up early in the morning after covering a game late in the night before. Because there's so many people who vote and all of your feedback. There's tons of people that vote on the AP poll and it's not a perfect system, but at the end of the day, no matter who you pick, it does even out because there's so many people who vote. And like I said, it's really fun for discussion. It doesn't, probably matter in the end, but I'm glad that people are having a really good time with it.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough to watch. I gotta say.
Come on, man.
I feel she's a young woman. I really appreciate how she put herself out there, and was willing to explain how it happened. A lot of people feel like she should have just said, "I didn't watch, or I didn't look, or I just filled
just own it." Yeah.
I am even today. I went on opened up her Twitter. And now you have to be an approved follower to see her tweets, which yesterday it was open. So that means people are all over her, right? And it's getting to her. And she's a young woman. And I think social media is a goddamn cesspool. And at the end of the day, it's a flawed system. It's a flawed system. The problem is not Haley Sawyer. The problem is the system. How are we vetting these people who vote on this? Truly, here's an example. I mentioned this to Dan. When I was Madison Hawk, she works for ESPN. She's a sideline reporter. She played hoops in college. Where the hell did she go? Belmont in Nashville. She's obsessed with LeBron James. A tomboy as a young girl. I know this because she told me all this. Okay, that's who I want voting, right? She is just dialed in, and she had a vote when she was a reporter in Knoxville, right?
Darby Brown.
Give her a vote. Okay. Same deal. I don't like, I understand, like, you can still, and honestly, you can still cover a team and be a beat writer on that team, right? And doing a phenomenal job. But like, if you ask somebody to globally break down a sport, that may not be fair. Great example. I was with the Sixers doing PR when Kate Fagan, formerly of Around the Horn, she was the beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Kate did not know if she was on foot or horseback and would have been very quick to tell anybody who would listen that. And she played hoops at Colorado. But I think it took her a minute to maybe get to a point where she would have felt comfortable voting on stuff like this. We have just put Haley Sawyer right in the mix. I feel bad for her. The fact that I told this to Scotty, the fact she's adorable, I feel like she could be like, I feel like I need to stick up for her. That's out there. Yes. But I'm not happy with the overreach. So go ahead, Scotty.
Young woman does not deserve bullying and hatred online, period. Never excusable, end of story. But I think all of us who follow this sport closely.
Who follows that with a butt? Go ahead.
I think all of us, I'm not excusing bullying.
Yeah.
There's no but to that. But all of us who follow this sport closely, love it, eat it, drink it, breathe it, sleep it. To hear the words, my vote doesn't really matter. Oh, it's an imperfect system. Oh, it's fun just for the conversation. What it communicated, whether it was intentioned or not, was I actually don't care about this. I don't care about your sport. I don't care to take it seriously. I don't care to look at results of nationally televised games to determine who won between Florida and USF. That bothers a lot of people. And what I told Matt yesterday on Mosley's show is, give me the vote. Give Mosley the vote. Give Pete Sousa the vote. There are so many of us who would actually be honored, and I'm not trying to overinflate this, right?
No, you're not. But honestly, you're doing a good job of staying with the story and reasons why.
Dan was talking about, like, sometimes these things, like, they happen quickly. You just got to fill it out. I get like this, but this isn't what she said. She's like, oh, my vote doesn't really matter. Dude, it matters to me, actually. It does, because I would love to have that privilege to be part of that process, even if it's imperfect and doesn't matter. So I think that's where some of the
but here's let me
disappointment has come through, right?
I want to take the standpoint of, like, or the stance, like, she didn't nominate herself for this. Somebody tapped her on the shoulder and they were like, you're going to vote. Like,
and she could have said no, right?
I don't know, but I would imagine, yeah, you could. But I mean, they need to come up with a better way to do this. We've been talking about it since the beginning of time. I think, if anything, this shines a light on how screwed up the system is. And again, she made a mistake. One, filling out the ballot, and two, going online and saying that. Like, she's also a young person that is literally going through experiencing life in front of our eyes. Like, I probably did 100 stupid things like that. You know what I mean? When I was there, and I still do them today. Yeah, stupider. Yeah. But I still do stuff today that's not that smart. But I sort of know how to massage, like, public stuff. That was not a great effort on her part to clean it up. But I feel terrible for her, and I would like for you, somebody. I last night, like, I don't know where my thinking is. I do this show. But so I talk about stuff on the air all the time. But like yesterday, I didn't feel like my voice was important enough, or nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. There were so many times I was ready to tweet, like, okay, I think we get the point. We're all good over here. Like, she was wrong. But I was like, nobody's going to care. And I did that recently for Monica McNutt when she wore when she screwed up the Barry Sanders jersey thing. She was getting skewered on Outkick. And I put something in the comments like,
well, those are bullies, so we can ignore.
I said, yo, she made him. I got pissed. I was like, because I think she's phenomenal. I said, she made a mistake. She played hoops at Georgetown. She's an amazing analyst. She does the Knicks radio as an analyst. It's like, beat it, dude. The girl, she screwed up. And everybody was like, I mean, you know, abhorrent things they're saying to me. So anyways, I was like, you know what? I'm going to fall back. But riding in like the Lone Ranger, here he is, Shahan.
Our guy.
Jayaraja. That's right, dude. The sheriff comes into town. You want to read it, Scotty?
Sure. He says, okay, this AP poll discourse has jumped the shark. Someone made a mistake and I assume glossed over a result. It happens. I assume she was trying to laugh off her mistake in the moment and move past it. It was a bad choice. We don't have to turn this into something it's not. And then the follow-up tweet to that.
By the way,
I've seen, there we go, standing O for Shahan. I've seen people say this sets women back in the industry. The only thing that does is when we don't give an individual grace. Lord knows I've screwed up countless times. Thankfully, I've been given the grace to recover. Agree with him on that overreaction. Big time, right?
Bro, I mean, the guy literally, it's like that's why guys like him are so talented. Like I was thinking all that stuff, but one, I didn't have the courage to put it out, and two, I wouldn't have been able to put it like that. But he's exactly right, dude.
Pete, nobody wordsmiths things the way Shahan.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Does. Okay.
But he's exactly right. He's exactly right. And honestly, I hadn't even read the one about the setting women back. I just saw the first one.
Well, yeah, and that's where, again, overreaction to it, dude. Like, no, that's not what this is. But I do feel bad for her. It's a bad look. It is a bad look.
So going forward, how would you fix it?
The system or Haley Sawyer?
No, I'm not.
Haley needs to just pay attention to the box scores. Like, that's simple. The system, dude, I wonder who qualifies to vote in the AP poll. So I presume, and I don't know this, I should have researched this, but we've been sprinting today. I'm assuming anybody that writes for a newspaper can qualify, a beat writer that covers a college football team, etc. Do podcasters? Do YouTubers? Do television? Like, I think I wonder if we need
I would think Josh Pate should have a vote.
That was one of the first names that came to my mind as well, right? Josh Pate or you or our guy, even like our guy, why am I forgetting his last name? Pete Mundo up at Heartland Sports.
Pete Mundo,
like
dude.
These are the guys that follow the sport so closely that they have such an informed vote. Those are the kind of people that need to be voting on this. So I wonder if we need to broaden category for who qualifies as Associated Press. And then, find the people who are already neck deep in it, neck deep in the national college football coverage. And give them a vote. Josh Pate, Pete Mundo, Pete Sousa, all of these guys.
How about, it's funny though, you do
Scotty Swingler.
You do, dude, definitely qualified. But I would do like you did a good job of conveying the passion and the rabid fan bases that are out there for college football. And it's like, you know, this Haley Sawyer, she just dropped chum in the waters for those people yesterday, which was a bummer. Like, I think there was a gross miscalculation of like people, of course, were going to freak out when they saw that. Like, I kind of appreciate it, but I'm like, whoa.
When you say the words, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That even if I'm confident this is not how she meant it.
No.
But for the Baylor fans who witnessed about 20 years of literally being the worst team in college football, when we suddenly were a top 25 ranked team, that freaking meant something.
Yeah.
For USF fans right now who are ranked in the top 20, that means something. That's validating of your school, of your program, of your community. College football is the closest thing in America to like Premier League soccer in England. It brings every ounce of community and passion and excitement and camaraderie and relationship. I mean, I don't want to over romanticize it, but that's what college football. That's what college football is in America. That's what it is. That's what makes it special. That's why I love it more than any other sport in this country. And why hundreds of thousands of people feel the same way. So I would have just removed that one phrase. Like, it doesn't really matter. No, it matters to every one of these athletes, schools, fan bases. It does. Because when your school is not Alabama, who's like, oh, it's just another ranking, right? When you're Baylor, when you're USF, when you're Boise State, when you're Tulsa, I mean, when you're Iowa State for a long time, that ranking matters to you. It does. It makes a difference.
You make a difference. I love this standing shot, dude. Do you love it?
I can't see it right at the way we've got it set up at the moment.
Because you're 1,000% uninhibited.
Locked in.
Yeah, I love it. And it looks great. You look good.
Man, I got my bought this when you took me to the FC Dallas game this year.
Let's go. Yes, it was.
Shirt, Los Toros. Check that out.
How are they doing?
Oh, they suck, man. It's
They
been
do?
a horrible season. It's been a horrible season. I don't want to talk about it. The United States finally won a game though last night against Japan.
Okay.
We can talk soccer on the show anytime, Pete. I'm ready anytime.
What did you?
anytime.
Speaking of soccer and football, this is the last thing. Then we'll wrap this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about Randy Cross's comment on Monday when he mentioned that college football could almost become something like they do with soccer? Like you could get demoted,
Relegated.
Relegated. What like? And he seemed like that was.
I don't know, man. I think. Oh God! See, now I'm really going to over romanticize this. I think the corporatization of and the financial interest in college football has ruined a lot of really good things about the sport already. For instance, regional rivalries. Like that's the easy one, right? Like the fact that Kansas Mizzou just played and it was like the first time in a long time.
Yeah,
that sucks. The fact that Baylor has not played Texas A&M in 14 years. That sucks. Like that sucks for football fans in the state of Texas. That's not fun. And so I don't like everything that conference realignment has been happening for almost 20 years now. I don't like it. So the idea that now we're going to even further extrapolate some of those differences and separate teams and I don't like it, man. So I see what he's saying. I don't think he's crazy for the take.
I don't like it either.
I don't think it's crazy to think that the best of the best are going to come together in some kind of new super league in the next 10 years. I think that's, we've said for a while now, that might be the direction it's going. But to me, like, I don't know if I like the relegation model. I don't know, man.
I'm not crazy about it either. I was curious to get your take.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, and by the way, that's a model in Europe for soccer. It's actually not the model in the United States, at least not yet. The United States just has more of a traditional pro model where you have the pro teams. Like, and,
we
and
would relegate FC Dallas though. Like
they would get relegated.
They
They would get relegated this year. They're bad. They're bad. It's been a very disappointing year for Dallas. But I still listen. Grew up a Baylor fan, so I rock the team colors no matter what the record is.
Dude, I appreciate.
Unless it's the Dallas Mavs. Screw you. Get Luka back. What are we doing?
Don't say anything to Nico Harrison if you see him. All right, don't. Okay. The Roy Philpott tomorrow. That's Scotty Springler. I'm Pete Sousa.
Deuces.
We're presented by Slovacic. See ya. Oh my goodness. Come on, let's go. We got to go.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning. So we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
We are Rogue Media Sports.